after I got out of service, and here's what, I'm not one for freebies. I took in that I could get on what they called 5220. You could get $20 a week from the government for 52 weeks. So I said, well, I'll learn a trade. Well, there was two trades open. One was pouring steel, and the other one was making candy. Well, I didn't see any future in pouring steel, so I took candy making. And you know, I really lucked out because I went into a trade that I thoroughly enjoyed. And I ended up a candy maker and been in the business ever since.
So where did they teach you how to work candy?
Okay, I started out with Betty Dixon. And Art Davidson, he was the hard candy maker for him. And he was upstairs in the factory, and the candy making was downstairs.
Where was that facility?
On 6th Street.
Okay, I remember that.
Used to be a shoe factory, I think, at one time.
Okay.
Well, anyway, they told me they wanted me to learn the hard candy also. So I heard about this gentleman, and I heard that he was a son of a gun. And so when I went up going up the stairs, I said, well, Frankson, all you can do is do the best you can. If that's not good enough, well, then that's too bad. Well, we got along real good. I mean, I learned a tremendous amount of stuff under him. And he was spinning hard candy is really a trick. I mean, it's a trade. He'd seen that I was tempted, wanted to try it, you know. He'd been doing it there. He said, would you like to try this? I said, yeah, I would. I said, I'm going to show that old boy that I've been paying attention. Get it up, get it down. What the hell's the matter with you? You know, come on. I laughed and I said, you know, I was going to show you that I've been paying attention. And he says, I know. He said he'd been through it himself. So he said, but what you do, you slide your hand. You don't squeeze, you just slide. Get your size. I go from the size of my wrist down to the size of less than a pencil without any trouble. But no, so all of it paid off in the end, and always wanted a business of my own. I had a chance, I had 3 chances out in Ohio, but I wanted small. I didn't want a great big business or anything. I wanted to control everything from start to finish and beyond. And the family didn't want to move out of town. So this time here, I took and got, heard about Peterson's Candy and went and saw Amo and talked to them. He said, well, I might want to wait a year. But then he called me back and he said, no, he says, I'm ready. So I'm 56 years old. And to go into debt. I mean, debt. See, luckily I had the house paid for, so I went to the banks to get money to buy the business, or you know, to get part of the money.
Sure.
He was going to carry the mortgage. And all 3 banks here in town, well, we want you to have $5,000 cash. I said, hey, if I had $5,000 cash, I wouldn't even talk to you guys. I was using the house as collateral. No, that wasn't enough. So I went down to the bank down Pennsylvania. And I says, hey, what I wanted to do, I says, I've been all these years in candy making. I know what I'm doing. And he says, okay. And back then, it was nice. You go down to the bank, and at that time, the gentleman's name was John. I said, hey, John, I need $5,000 on a demand note. 4 days later, John, I need $10,000 on a demand note. You sign the paper, take the money, and go. But you have the money and you save 2% on your bill. Well, when you have a $3,000 bill or a $5,000 bill, 2% is a lot of money. So anyway, now today, that's where banking's wrong. It shouldn't be that way. You gotta go down, then they gotta have a week to approve it. Hey, if you aren't worth lending the money to, I don't even talk to them. I mean, it's pathetic the way the banks are. My son has taken over the business. I mean, so I'm getting that information from him. But anyway.
So you owned Peterson's Corn Crib.
Yeah, I bought it from Amo Peterson.
It's what a record.
But that was when it was out in Busti.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't. I didn't have any connection with the one in town. I mean, he moved from town when the licensing department, state vehicle license registration, that took over the building. I took over in September. Of course, went right into Christmas, right into Easter.
What year? What year?
Oh, I don't, 70 something.
Okay.
But the went through Easter, and back then Amo didn't have the setup that I had. In fact, when I bought the place, he had only 100 amps going into it. Well, you got big motors on machinery and that, so I had 200 amps put in. But the I lost my train of thought now. Oh yeah, to cool the molds, we had to put them outside. And then, I mean, we had people waiting for them, you know. And then you open them up carefully, and they would stick to the mold. They wouldn't be completely done. So, well, we got by Easter all right. Then in the spring, I told Dad, I says, Dad, I said, we're going to build a room. I think it was 20 by 60, 20 by something. 6-inch walls, no windows, 2 air conditioning units, one for the tunnel that cooled the chocolate because it had to be where it didn't have any moisture, and one for the room itself. So Dad said, well, why don't you wait a couple of years before, you know, Amo got by. I says, Dad, what I want to do with business, I says, I need it. I said, and $25,000, I says, is piddly. I said, with the amount of money I owe, I said, if we go down the tubes on account of $25,000, I said, right, we'd go down the tubes anyway. Well, we got the building built, and what a godsend, because they could come in and be 100 degrees outside. I could mold anything they wanted.
Yeah.
Well, it's comical too, because people come in and say they wanted something a little out of line. We don't know. I had one experience. A guy wanted to put a necklace inside a chocolate heart. I said, okay. Now, we're not talking a necklace. We're talking 4 figures.
Yeah, yeah.
So I tell you what, I says, you come back tomorrow night. I said, I'll have the shells ready. I made 2 hollow Valentine shells. You're coming back in the room with me. We're going to tissue that necklace of yours, put it in there. I'm going to seal it, put it in the box, and give it to you. No way would I handle a situation like that without him right there.
Absolutely, wow.
Yeah. But it's, I've had a lot of fun in Candy. I mean, And like I say, I miss it, but I just can't do it. I can dip for maybe 15 minutes and I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm talking hand dipping, you know.
Right.
But it's been it's comical because anytime we travel, if we pass a candy shop, we stop and
To check it out.
check it out.
That's it.
I had two experiences. One was in Vermont, and there the poor guy, he was supposed to teach him all the things and give him the recipes and that. And he took his money and run, which is, I mean, that's pathetic that there's people like that. So I told him, I said, I'll tell you what, I said, I'm going to give you a crash course. I said, in candy making, I said, you're always learning. Heck, I've been in it over 50 years and I'm still learning. I mean, there's different things that, well, why didn't I think of that 10 years ago, you know? But I said, no, I said, he was going to make bark. He was going to take and he had plastic molds there that had little squares in them, you know. I said, no. I said, you get the chocolate melted, that's all come in. I taught him how to temper the chocolate. That was the main thing. I mean, you know how to handle the chocolate, then you can do anything. There's only 2 degrees variation in chocolate, I mean, to when you're working with it. So I told him, we put in 10 pounds of chocolate in a container, put in our nuts and that, mixed it all up, you know, checked it, make sure it was right on that. By that you just, yep, that's right. Never mind the thermometer. But spread it, poured it on the slab, took the spatula, spread it out, took the cutter, done. 12 pounds of candy.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, anyway, with the information they gave him, he was able to stay in business. And I stopped in the next year. He said, boy, he says, you were a godsend. He said, that one time up in Glens Falls, I walk in and the gal's making nonpareils, which is you have your large cake pans, what I call cake pans, cookie pans, whatever. And you have these sprinkles on the bottom. Then you have a runner with chocolate in and you dab the chocolate on them. And she was working twice as hard as what she needed to. I could see that. I said, hey, is your boss here? No, he's out on the golf course. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'm a candy maker, and if you want, I'll come and show you a little trick that will make all the difference in the world. She said, come on back. I took the container, the funnel, and I tipped it 45 degrees. That's all. I went gave it to her. Oh, all relaxed. Oh, I made a big difference, I'll tell you. And so she thanked me, but
Hopefully gave you some nonpareils.
But
Hopefully gave you some nonpareils.
oh, no, it. But I didn't ask for any either. It was. I just like to give anybody help that I can. If I see it, if they see that they need it. Things that we have to buy in.
Did you want any, honey?
Yeah, just set it there. Jelly beans and malt balls and all that kind of stuff. Fish, Swedish fish. If we don't like an object if we buy in an object that we don't like, we won't even put it in. We'll do without.
Yep.
Instead of selling it. Oh, Valentine boxes.
Yep.
Well, I always liked the ones, we had the plain ones, naturally. Now the plain ones, the fancy ones cost a lot more than the plain ones. Between a pound here and a pound there, big difference. And like I told people when they bought the fancy ones, I says, put it in when you get through, put it in the box, cover it, keep it covered, bring it back, and I'll fill it again. Just as charged for the candy. Some did, some didn't. But it made a big beautiful display, all these different
Oh, yeah.
designs and whatnot. Today you can't buy any. All they have is just a red heart. Some will have a little flower on it, you know, but nothing fancy. Oh, well, that's a year-round product. We
Yeah.
call it caramel corn.
Yeah.
And we make, our secret to caramel corn is when we cook the batch, we take and cook the peanuts right along with it. That gives it the flavor. And you got the peanuts right there, you know, they're in there, and you mix it together, and it's, I miss it.